Hey everybody, Nick Livingston with Honeit Software. I'm excited to walk you through the platform today. We work with all types of executive recruiters, talent partners, external search firms, RPO companies, and staffing agencies who use Honeit to streamline and automate their entire candidate scheduling, screening, and submission workflow so that they can save time and deliver more value to clients and help companies hire the right talent faster. So today we'll talk a little bit about the candidate screening process, which I think is one of the most important yet overlooked step in the recruiting process. It's that big gap between sourcing, how do you find the right people or people who apply, and how do we get them on the phone? How do we screen them? And how do we make sure only the right folks are getting on the hiring manager's calendar, right? To save them time and help them make a better decision. So going from that stack of resumes to that short list, there's a lot that goes into that process. And that's what recruiters and talent partners are here to deliver. Yet there hasn't been a solution purpose built for recruiters and talent partners to streamline that process, help us have better conversations, and help us instantly share insights after a great conversation. So today we'll talk about those high level human conversations and those that are important to recruitment. And we'll show you how we can automate all of the tedious stuff before a call, during a call, and after a call, like scheduling, note taking, call summaries, recruiter write ups, candidate presentations, and even feedback in a purpose-built communication platform for recruiters and talent partners. So let me show you a couple how it works. So again, we've centralized your communication stack. So now not only can you automate your whole workflow, you can do your phone calls and video calls and VoIP calls and SMS and outbound calls, all from a centralized and compliant communication platform for recruiters, right? So we don't have to use 6 or 7 different tools to do it. We've consolidated the platform and built best in class across the board. And then second, we can automate all of that stuff. Again, the scheduling, the note taking, the write-ups, the summaries, all of that tedious stuff that leads to recruiter burnout and slows us down. And now we have a solution to collaborate. So after an intake call, we can share data and insights with hiring teams for instant collaboration and alignment, or we can share those insights with candidates to get the right folks on our calendar. And then similarly, as we talk to candidates and uncover what's not on the resume, we can share those authentic human insights that we hear with other folks, right? For instant collaboration and a better interview experience for everybody. Let me just show you a couple of quick examples. So whether you're talking to a marketing coordinator or you're talking to a nurse, or you're talking to a Java engineer, now we as recruiters can ask incredible questions on that very first call, hang up the phone or end the video call, and instantly share technical answers, behavioral based answers, industry specific answers, core value answers from the great questions that we ask on the very first call. And what we're asking hiring managers for is not 45 minutes next week to repeat our conversation. We're just asking hiring teams for 3 minutes of their time to quickly hear a few highlights and technical answers from our conversation, which saves hiring managers a ton of time and makes sure they're not spending time or stuck on the phone with the wrong candidate. So again, after a phone screen with David Johnson, when I ask him about his front end experience and his back end experience and the projects he likes to enjoy, I'm not sharing the whole call and I'm not sharing my side of the conversation. I'm just sharing those great answers that David told me. And hiring managers can quickly hear personality, communication style, enthusiasm, soft skills, as well as technical answers. So our output from our screening process is now data and evidence to accelerate hiring decisions. What else can we do with Honeit? After you talk to a hiring manager, most important conversation in the process is that kickoff or intake call, and you ask about the team, why the job's important, the key skills for the role. We can automatically capture those great answers and instantly share those with our recruiters and sourcers, external recruiting partners, from one simple intake call one time and with one person conducting the intake call. So we don't have to have 7 people on that intake call for everybody involved to quickly hear the insights and right from the hiring manager and source. But we can go one step further, right? How do we get the right candidates excited about our company, about working with our great leadership team? Well, we're one click away to post these, job insights, these audible job insights with candidates, right? Hey, we're hiring SDRs across North America. Here's a link to meet our amazing VP of sales and hear about why this is an amazing place to work. If you like what you hear, let's talk. So we're giving candidates what they want, which is more information sooner in the process, and we're giving them a chance to actually meet the hiring manager or hiring team before they have to spend the time talking to a recruiter. That's how we get the right candidates to respond, pick up their head, and get on our calendar faster. Okay. So a couple of quick things. Why are we doing this? Why are we solving this specific problem? It's because hiring is a team sport and there's a lot of people involved in decision making, right? But the further we get from the process and the further that candidate gets pushed from an offer, the more conversations they've typically had to have to get all of these people into alignment. And when we've only had scribbled notes and opinions, that's what makes a creative, redundant, repetitive process. And the candidates have to have so many of the same conversations over and over with external recruiters and internal recruiters and hiring managers and hiring teams and stakeholders to get to aha. Well, with Honeit, instead of that redundant linear candidate screening and interview process, we can now instantly share data and insights from the very first call with the recruiter for instant collaboration with hiring stakeholders. That's right. Recruiters can now perform comprehensive interviews on the very first call, hang up the phone, click a button, and instantly deliver value and data to the other stakeholders. So this changes everything. So once you have a compliant communication stack purpose-built for recruiters and talent partners, leadership now has visibility into all of those high-value activities that are outside of the ATS. And that's why, ATSs feel a little bit frustrating, right? Because, scheduling has historically been outside of the ATS. Your phone, VoIP, and video calls have been outside of your ATS. Your note-taking has been on a notepad or outside of your ATS. And then your write-ups or submissions have been outside of your ATS. It's no wonder it's a bit frustrating. So now when you have a compliant communication platform, we can see time to schedule, time to screen, talk time, time to submit, time to review, time to feedback, right? To see where the bottlenecks are, to see where the burnout is happening, and to see where recruiter productivity and utilization is happening. So great visibility into the enterprise for executive recruiting firms, RPO organizations, or talent acquisition leaders. And when you start to think about the time savings of automating scheduling, automating note-taking, automating call summaries, automating recruiter write-ups and candidate presentations, the recruiter time savings is incredible. But what's more exciting is when you start to say, hey, hiring manager, I just talked to a great QA automation engineer. I'm not asking you to spend 45 minutes next week to necessarily interview them. I'm saying listen to 3 minutes of these great QA answers, and we can get to that aha faster together. So the time savings to hiring managers and multiple hiring teams gets very exciting very quickly. So how does it work? We'll just walk you quickly through the platform. So you can now automate your entire candidate scheduling, screening, and submission workflow with one simple Honeit link pasted anywhere into your workflow. So if I'm reaching out to candidates on LinkedIn, hey, thanks for connecting, would love to chat with you about this amazing job, I can paste my Honeit scheduling link, your logo pops, and candidates can easily get on my calendar, right? And everybody knows what to do here. You pick a time that's open. Everybody gets reminders and invites and SMS text reminders. We can also add these links to our ATS message templates or email templates to, again, automate that scheduling and rescheduling and get the right candidates on our calendar faster. So once they book a call, then we talk, right? And whether it's a phone call, a video call, an outbound call, a VoIP call with a global candidate, recruiters can talk to candidates anywhere and everywhere. And during the conversation, instead of 1,000 keystrokes, we get to just ask great questions and click a button. So all of that stress, all of that tediousness, all of that, I can't remember, I'm not able to remember all this great stuff, goes away because we're automatically transcribing the whole call and we're automatically capturing the key answers from these great questions that we ask. So that when we hang up from the call, we can pick the 4 key answers, instantly share this link via Slack, via email, through your ATS, right? We can track statistics on when these links were opened and viewed and when feedback happens. But this offers that instant collaboration between recruiters and talent partners that has never been possible when we just forward resumes or share scribbled notes. We're now sharing the key aha and the key human insights that we uncover during our human conversations. So Again, now from a phone screen or video call, we've automatically captured all of this key skills that were talked about and time-stamped those moments so we can jump back to those moments later. We've automatically recorded the call so it's compliant. We can look back, we can see what the candidate said. Um, but most excitingly is when we ask an incredible question, we can now instantly capture that snippet, we can instantly transcribe that answer, and we can instantly summarize that answer. This is the data that we've been missing from our most high value conversations. We also transcribe the whole call and tag it and index it with keywords. But again, after a conversation with a few great candidates, put them on a link, send that to the client, and now you've showed them you've performed a structured, fair, consistent candidate screening, and they can quickly hear the highlights to decide who makes sense to expedite the process. And again, with a lot of companies, we're seeing people remove interview steps because we're doing the first interview for them. And what's better with call guides built into Honeit, it's centralized here. Again, recruiters can perform highly technical and comprehensive interviews, not only by automatically creating call guides from a job description, by getting the hiring team involved, sharing this call guide with the group and saying, hey, these are the questions we plan on asking application security engineers on the very first call. What are we missing? And the application security VP or the CIO might say, hey, let's also ask these two questions. Well, now, when you ask those questions on the very first call and instantly share those answers with the hiring team, they know it when they hear it, and we can get to that aha faster. So again, going back to the big picture here is, candidate screening and our submissions, that's a really important step, and that's what recruiters and talent partners do to save hiring managers time and deliver more value, right? Well, if we're still just talking to candidates and sharing scribbled notes, that's not going to move the needle. In the age of AI, our human conversations matter more than ever, but we've got to do it faster, we've got to do it smarter, and we've got to deliver more value to the line of business. So excited to introduce you to the Honeit communication platform. It's purpose-built to empower human resources and turn all of those important, meaningful human conversations like intake calls, screening calls, interviews, onboarding calls, internal mobility conversations, or even exit interviews into real-time structured data that helps HR deliver more value to the line of business and make better HR decisions. So thanks, everybody. I'm Nick Livingston, one of the co-founders of Honeit. We do offer free trials. Happy to schedule a demo if you go to honeit.com. Thanks, everybody.